This is North Texas Weather Center with your latest 4-minute forecast, getting right into that severe weather potential for today. And there is a marginal threat for severe weather across a good portion of the southern and central plains. The main threats today being damaging winds, large hail, and maybe an isolated tornado will be possible this afternoon and evening across a good portion of the plains. Let's get right into future radar. So right around 6 to 7 o'clock across Oklahoma, we'll likely just see a couple of passing showers and maybe a rumble of thunder out of a storm or two. Eventually by 9 to 10 o'clock, we'll start to see more prominent storm activity back out to the west and western portions of Oklahoma closer to Elk City. Eventually by 11 to 12 o'clock, you can see those storms are firing up basically really after sunset. We're not going to see storms until then. Eventually by 1 in the morning, you can see a pretty strong and severe storms developing near Lawton. By 3, 4 in the morning, you can start to see those storms will start to move into southern Oklahoma into northern North Texas. That might bring an isolated chance for a strong or very marginally severe storm to North Texas going into the early morning hours on Sunday. And that storm activity will continue and become more widespread going into Sunday morning across especially central and eastern portions of Oklahoma. Heading into about the afternoon hours, we should start to dry out. An isolated storm may be possible going to Sunday evening, which leads to our next potential for severe weather, which will be on Sunday. So there'll be another chance for severe weather across Kansas and as well as northeastern Oklahoma. Now let's jump into what we're expecting over the upcoming week across all of the southern plains, because we're going to see a big pattern change coming across North Texas and as well as a good portion of the southern plains next week. Now heat will return. That's the negative, but the positive is we'll see several storm chances over the next several days. So you can see Monday, some storms passing through even possibly northern Oklahoma. Tuesday, some more showers and storms will be possible across northern Oklahoma and even possibly even to all of Oklahoma will be possibly see some storms there. Going to Wednesday, more storms will be possible. Eventually by Thursday, some showers and storms in the Panhandle, eventually in Oklahoma. Unfortunately, at this current time, none of these seem to be tracking towards North Texas, but it can't rule out maybe 1 or 2 of these events actually do enter North Texas, so don't be shocked if that happens. Eventually by Saturday and Sunday, we'll start to see possibly a cold front come through, which might cool us down just a little bit. All right, here's a huge update on the tropics. As of right now, we have potential tropical cyclone 1 right now, and basically just off the coast of Florida. Now, this will not probably become an actual tropical storm until it enters into the Atlantic Ocean. So pretty big information. Obviously, it's not going to make a big difference in terms of what to expect. The only difference is it's just not named. So at this point, we're going to expect the tropical storm to actually be named Alex by late Saturday night or early Sunday morning once it enters into the Atlantic Ocean. Now, there are tropical storm warnings in effect all across Florida and as well as the Bahamas and as well as Cuba. This will eventually track out toward Bermuda, and this will obviously be something to watch because that might make some impacts to Bermuda as a tropical storm. Here's a look at the infrared imagery as of right now. It's starting to move toward Florida. The low pressure system is actually centered right here. As you can see, there's no clearly depicted area of circulation. There's not really any storms around it. So unfortunately, well, really fortunately, it's not an actual tropical storm. But even if it was a tropical storm, I mean, it would be the same impacts as what we're seeing now. So it's not really a big difference overall. But what will happen from here on out? Well, it's going to go toward Bermuda, it looks like. That's kind of the track at this point. So there will be impacts to Bermuda. But over the next 36 to 48 hours, it will make impacts to the Bahamas, Cuba, and as well as Florida. And maybe even portions of the Carolinas might be seeing increased of wave activity. All right, here's a look at the overall intensity, by the way, for this tropical storm at this point. So you can see that it's basically going to be a tropical storm throughout this entire thing. I don't expect it to get stronger than that. One computer model jumps it to a category 1, but even then, it won't make impacts to Bermuda as a category 1 hurricane. So basically a tropical storm or less is basically what's being forecasted at this point. By the way, the rainfall totals are significant. I mean, this is insane how much rain we're going to see out of this in portions of southern and as well as central Florida. You can see rainfall totals could reach as much as 10 inches. You can see in West Palm Beach, Miami, maybe 4 to 6 inches, possibly even a little bit higher than that. Some of these are a little bit underestimated in my opinion, but basically what we're expecting 5 to 7 inches, some areas as much as 8 to 12 inches of rain from this one single tropical storm that will only be rolling through the area for probably about 36 hours or so. All right, here's the temperatures for this morning across North Texas. You can see many of us waking up in the low to mid 60s, some of us closer to the upper 60s. Actually, by the afternoon hours, many of us will warm up into the upper 80s and low 90s, so not a bad day overall, pretty average for this time of the year. Temperatures tomorrow morning will wake up in the mid to upper 60s and low 70s. Eventually, by the afternoon, many of us in the low to mid 90s. So again, fairly average, just slightly above average for this time of the year then. Here's your latest North Texas Weather Center 7-day forecast. Again, the 7-day forecast is based out of DFW. You can see the temperatures over the next several days are going to actually be increasing. Again, close to 100 on Tuesday, eventually by Thursday and Friday of next week. Storm chances may return to North Texas, but unfortunately not widespread at this time. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, All Dents Repair, and Patriot Safe Rooms.